Scotland v Fiji, on the face of it at least, could be a bit of a try-fest. My name's Mark, let's talk rugby. This game probably a little bit overshadowed by the fact that, England and New Zealand are clashing on Saturday as well, but still two really good sides. It's let me check our world rankings here. I think it's 7th versus 9th in the world or something like that. Yeah, Scotland at the moment is in 7th, Fiji in 9th. Two vastly talented sides, though. Both love to throw the ball around and really should be an exciting game. So let's go down through the teams, starting with the home team, Scotland. So first of all, fullback, we've got Kyle Rowe. Right wing, Darcy Graham. The centres then Hugh Jones and Sione Tuipulotu. Left wing, Duhan van der Merwe. The halfbacks then, you got Adam Hastings and Ali Price. Front row is Pierre Schoeman, Ewan Ashman and Xander Fagerson. Then second row is Grant Gilchrist and Scott Cummings. And the back row is Matt Fagerson, Rory Darge and Jack Dempsey. On the bench then you got Dylan Richardson, Rory Sutherland, Darcy Ray, Max Williamson, Gregor Brown, Jamie Doby, Tom Jordan and Stafford McDowell. Okay, now let's have a look at the Fijian team. So front row is Hereti Hetet, then Tavita Ikaniveri, Samuela Tawake, Isoa Nasila Silla, Ratu Leone Ratui Solia, then Ratu Meli Deren Nalangi, Kitioni Salawa, Ilia Kanakai Vata, Frank Lomi, Caleb Muntz, Panipate, Logan Nimasi, Inai Tabuavao, Apisalome Vota, Vaute Karawalevu and Isaiah Ravula. Then on the bench, we got Masilame Dolokoto, Levi Natabe, Jone Koroi Dua Dua, Masake Vose Vose, Vileve Mira Mira, Simi Kuruvoli, Kemuli Valentini and Waka Nalaga. And I think those last two, I think, are debutants as well. Okay, so let's have a closer look at the Scotland team. I certainly know a lot more about the Scotland team than I do about the Fijian team, because I think the last time pretty much I saw Fiji play was in the World Cup, but there's a lot of players changed since then. But for Scotland, Kyle Rowe, they're a full-back. He's comfortable there, also comfortable on the wing. You would you would think that probably he when Scotland kind of go back to kind of a full strength team, he's probably going to be fighting out for a wing berth rather than full-back. But he's certainly well capable of doing the job back there, and a guy that definitely knows his way to the try line. Then you got Darcy Graham. He was out injured for a while, and he's just recently come back, but he looks lively, and definitely another guy who knows how to get over the whitewash. Then you come to the inform unit really for Scotland at the minute. Hugh Jones been in really good form, but Sione Tuipulotu just in absolutely exceptional form in the URC, potentially so far the best player of the season. Got to be up there in the conversation, certainly with that. Then you got Duhan van der Merwe, who just loves scoring tries for Scotland. And then the halfbacks, Adam Hastings, Ali Price, probably the best form 9 at the minute, the Scottish Nines. But you look at that compared to the rest of the back line, and you think, maybe not as brilliant as it could be. But also I think with Adam Hastings, he knows that even if he plays really well, he's not going to be, barring injury really, he's not going to be the starting 10 for big games or during the Six Nations or wherever. So, but still a chance for him to at least, put a little bit of a market in and say, listen, I can perform at this level. Then the front row, you got Pierre Schumann. Thought he was exceptional last year for Scotland, and he's been in decent form as well in the URC this year. Ewan Ashman, you look at who the form number 2 is for, like, in all of Scotland at the minute, in Johnny Matthews, and you think, well, he's not getting anywhere near the near the test team at the moment. But Ashman certainly has a really good, solid all-around game. Sander Fagerson, then at tight head, I think he really has been. I think he stepped things up a little bit this season compared to last season. Then the second row, then Grant Gilchrist, decent in there in terms of just all-around play. Scott Cummings, a good ball carrier, and decent option in the line out as well. Then the back row, there's tons of really good options for Scotland to put in that back row. Matt Fagerson, again, coming a little bit of form this season as well, kind of similar to his brother. Rory Darge, who, when he came on the scene for Scotland, looked like he was going to be a fixture in that back row. He's kind of been in and out a little bit, but he's definitely back in form now. And Jack Dempsey, then, kind of the, really the ever-present in there. Those around him seem to change, but if he's available, he seems to get picked at 8, and with good reason as well. Really good carrier of the ball for them, and gives them good go forward. Then on the bench, then you got Dylan Richardson, who's definitely somebody's coming on with something to prove. Rory Sutherland, the most experienced of those front row replacements. And then Darcy Ray, kind of similar to Richardson as well, going to come on and show what he can do. Then you got Max Williamson and Gregor Brown, kind of in similar positions as well. Certainly Williamson. Then you look at the backs replacement, like Jamie Dobie has been in electric form recently. Tom Jordan, last season, the guy was absolutely brilliant. Going to be interested to see how he goes. If he gets enough time. And Stafford McDowell, another guy, whose form really has kind of forced its way into this 23. So that's the Scotland team. Then we have a closer look at the Fiji team again. I don't know all that many of the Fiji players, so I'm just going to pick out a few that I think might have a big impact on the game. Obviously, Ikanavere there at hooker. He's kind of got an all court, all action kind of game there. So expecting kind of big things from him. Then in the second row, Nasila Sila. The guy has lovely hands for a second row, and he loves a bit of a break himself as well. So definitely somebody to keep an eye on. In the back row, then you've got again plenty of ball players in there. Salawa, one to watch really, I think, in there. Then the halfbacks, Frank Lamani and Caleb Muntz. they still have that kind of flair that you expect from Fiji, but I think they give them a bit more of kind of a little bit more of kind of structure as well. They bring to the play and to the back line too, which means that Fiji can kind of stick in games thereabouts a little bit more. Then the rest of the back line, you got pace and power all over it, and there are going to be a lot of sore bodies, I would say, on the Scottish side as well. Some of these guys, big guys, that they're going to have to tackle there. But as I said, in terms of the matchup between these two teams, they both like to throw the ball around. They both like to kind of attack from anywhere as well. So it's going to be a very exciting game. I'm excited to see as well Valentini and Nalaga coming off the bench as well, to see what they're all about too. Some really exciting talented players there. Obviously, looking compared to the Rugby World Cup again, there's a lot of kind of turnover in their squad in terms of who's coming out in this game. But Fiji are the type of rugby nation that when they bring in new guys, they're going to be ball players. They're going to have the skills. They don't necessarily have the depth in terms of having players who can do it all, but certainly the passing skills. Going to be there, the awareness for space, etc., and that kind of innate ability and instinct to attack from anywhere as well is going to be there. So I think this is going to be an exciting one. I hope it's not going to be. Sometimes you fear with teams like Fiji that it's kind of outside of tournament play that they kind of drop off a little bit against teams that you feel like, if this was a World Cup game, you could definitely see Fiji giving Scotland a game and potentially winning the game as well. And they did well to win the Pacific Nations Cup there too. But you look at them certainly outside of the World Cup cycle, and they do kind of shift a lot of kind of defeats where they're conceding maybe 50 odd points and maybe scoring 2 or 3 tries themselves, but not really being in the game. So I hope this isn't one of those. I think that Fiji, they showed in the World Cup that they're ready to kind of make that step forward and be kind of competitive on a more regular basis. And I just hope that we see that as well on Saturday, that it is going to be a tight game between two very talented teams, and they give themselves kind of a chance to potentially win the game as well. Again, as a Northern Hemisphere fan, I'm going to be cheering for the Northern Hemisphere team, but Fiji are definitely a team that I want to see getting stronger and doing well, and that kind of being able to perform in these November internationals is kind of a big part of that, is that being able to perform kind of all year round should be basically the aim for them, and hopefully we see that across this November series. So in terms of who I think is going to win for this one, in terms of recent performance, results, etc., and just consistency, I would say that Scotland have a little bit of an edge. So I'm going to go for Scotland, but as long as it is kind of an entertaining game, I won't be too bothered about who actually wins in the end. I will be cheering for Scotland, but I'm a rugby fan at heart, and I just like to see good rugby. And it doesn't have to be, it doesn't always have to be throwing the ball around. Good rugby to me can be, very interesting kicking game. The big forward battle, big battle in the set piece, etc., or teams just going hell for leather at each other. I think this is probably going to be the latter in this one. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And again, we'll have a review of this one tomorrow. So I'll see you guys on the next one.